What's going on, people? It's Sunday, July 2nd, my sister's birthday, and I'll be talking about that. But I want to call attention to, um, um, I'm going to leave it up for a while because it's just so stupid. Well, trolls, it's right at the top of my last one. What does this dumb ass say? Malcolm X would have been disgusted with you. He despised any dummy who was dense enough to be part of the Democratic Party and all of the empty lies and false promises they spew. Whoever who's a member of the Democratic Party? This is the problem with. See, these people are triggered when I bring up Trump because they make all these assumptions. I'm not a liberal. I'm a concerned human being. It's a small mind. Like this person, I'm going to leave it up so you can read it. I just responded to him, oh, just stop. It's just, it's maddening how stupid, what a stupid thing to say. This person has no idea what Malcolm X thinks. Good grief. So that stuff is just fucking stupid. And the ones I erased the other day were just even more stupid and racist. So, happy birthday, Adrian, my younger sister. For a few days, she and I are the same age. Her birthday is today, and mine is Friday the 7th, when we were born 1 year apart. So we're both 67 as of today. Someone had asked me in the comments if I would talk about self-acceptance. And this is actually a good time to do so in light of talking about my younger sister, Adrian. I love my whole family. My younger sister, Adrian, is a fierce, well, we all are. We're all fighters. But my sister, Adrian, is a good example of someone who knows about self-acceptance as well as myself. When we were kids, I come from 5 kids in the family, 2 girls, 3 boys. And from a very early age, Adrian talked about knowing she wanted to be an artist. I'm trying to get that white balance. It's so yellow. Nothing I can. It don't matter. It don't matter. But she was discouraged and by people in school. I forget the exact story, but she was actually told to not even bother. Or maybe it was when she was applying for a college or doing something where she was, looking at careers, and they told her, you can't be an artist. You'll never be an artist. Black girls can't be artists. My sister is retired now from Disney. She worked for Disney for over 25 years, married Floyd Norman, Disney legend. My sister Adrian was involved in illustrating Disney books and all sorts of stuff. If you have Disney stuff in your children's, in your history, since I don't know exactly when, but for, like I said, 20-something years, if you have Disney stuff, chances are you have my sister's work. And she just persevered. She knew what she wanted. She believed in herself. She didn't listen to what other people said. That's the comment I want to make about self-acceptance. She accepts herself. She values herself and learned how to do so at an early age. I come from a family that's conflicted. It was loving, but there was madness. There was drug abuse, all kinds of craziness, and so, in spite, we had to weather that stuff. And my sister, both my sisters, standing tall and proud in spite of stuff. So, it's important to accept oneself. Let me put it in a broader sense. Like, for example, people who come over here, positive and negative comments, you know what I'm saying? People will say things, make judgments, and that's fine. because that's what they think. But do you have to think it because someone else thinks it? If someone makes a statement, does that make it true? Does someone else's opinion about you matter more than yours? If it does, you're in trouble because nobody has it together. Look around on this planet. We have some people who are exemplary figures of being human. Very few. I can't really think of one to mention that's alive. But 99.99% of all humans on this planet are lost, and nobody knows. A lot of people assume, people like the troll, making assumptions like somebody knows better than me what I'm supposed to know and be. That's bullshit. Nobody knows. Everybody's trying to figure it out. We come up in societies and cultures and as groups, as in order to live together in societies, we have to have agreements and social agreements about behavior and all sorts of things. But a lot of assumptions come along with that. And a big assumption that I think a lot of people don't even realize they have is that they just sort of assume that somebody else knows what's going on, or that somebody's in charge, or that somebody really has it together behind the scenes. And and they don't. There is no one. This was really important for me to understand on my journey towards self-acceptance, especially coming up as a kid, because I can remember very strongly as I started to synthesize the racism in the world around me as a kid, and it's just like this just doesn't make any sense. I know I'm a human being. I know I'm a living creature. What is this madness called racism? Why are these white people acting so strange and hateful and weird? So self-acceptance is important. I will also add that I think that self-improvement is important too. I dare say that, to my mind, a person who is consciously trying to be awake and loving himself and share that with others is on a path that involves being awake, which involves self-improvement, not the sort of thing like, I'm going to set this goal, I'm going to have this New Year's resolution, and if I don't make it, I'm a failure. No, it's the whole idea that, well, for me, it's real simple. One of the reasons why I'm still here involved in the music community is because I learned early on that I'm here to play music, not to be using it as a dating service or hookup. I know a lot of people here in Omaha who can't talk to each other because of their past, because so-and-so slept with someone, then slept with someone, then slept with someone. The next thing you know, so-and-so is someone's wife, someone's husband, and oops. So what I'm saying is my trajectory of self-improvement involves knowing that I'm a charismatic person and that I could use people, and deciding not to do that because I don't feel good about that, and that's not part of me being a good person, my own definition. So I forget who it is who asked this, but I think it's important. It is important for you to accept yourself, but it's important for you to be honest with yourself. And if there's parts of you that need to be improved, then do that. If you're hurting yourself or hurting other people, and you know it, you need to stop. And it's really that simple. It's not easy, but it's that simple. And it is important to love yourself and not accept lies and bullshit from other people. I'm going to leave that comment up. It's just utterly ridiculous. As if that person could even have any idea what Malcolm X would think. People say just the dumbest things who are not loving. Here's what I'll say. The person who said that and the people who come over here with negative comments, what they're telling me is that they don't love themselves, and they've decided that I'm a target for their displeasure. But it's it's insane because I don't even know who these people are. Never met them, never done a thing to them, and here they come with this negativity. There's something wrong with them, okay? And even more so, it's true because the fact that they get triggered when I mention one of the most dysfunctional people to hold public office ever, Trump. That triggers them. It's truly a cult. It's like if you say something against Trump, you're saying something against all of his stupid followers. And I'm not going to be quiet and say what I like. And what I'm saying is justified anger. It's not just name calling out of being stupidly angry. There's a lot of reasons. This man's done a lot of damage. A lot of damage. So, accept yourself. Happy birthday, Sister Adrian. Okay, so we can talk about music because Homer's came through. Mark Manor is a local personality, really into music lover, and has been working at Homer's for a long time, and has been a fan of mine, and consequently is a friend of mine now, but has been a fan of mine since he was a little boy. So he's also a Durutti Column fan. They're not a household name. Durutti Column, Vinnie Riley is a guitarist that I highly love, and he's one of my favorite guitarists. And it's not about his technique or how good he is. It's about how he plays that guitar. I can hear one note and I know it's Vinnie Riley. So this finally came out on vinyl. This was released in 1997, I think. Time was gigantic when we were kids. And it just came out. And actually, I got a hold of Homer's yesterday to say, can you guys get this? And Mark says, we got it. I said, whoa. So I ran down and grabbed it right away. Vinnie Riley, I have a collection of his stuff. I might even grab it. But I have to go to the restroom. Shit. I had to go, so this is being done in two parts since I want to keep talking. Durutti Column for me is again, he's one of my favorites. I collect him. Vinnie Riley. I made an attempt to get a hold of his management to see if I could interview him, but no response. But I decided to grab, what I have. Vinnie Riley has a fair amount of a discography. I don't have it all, but I'm going to show what I have, and it's not in order. But let me see if I can at least find the first album to start there. Yeah. Now, his first album is the collector's item edition of it I don't have. This is the factory album, The Return of the Durutti Column, that comes in a sandpaper cover as well. And those covers are the ones that Ian Curtis and members of Joy Division assembled themselves as part of Factory being an independent label, and people having to do stuff themselves. I don't have that version, but this is that album. Early factory release. This one is red when you put it up in the light. Beautiful album. So I'm just going to, these are out of order. Keep Breathing. Keep Breathing. This is one that was a recent reissue, possibly a color vinyl. Let me look. Oh, yeah. All of these albums, there's every record he's made, there's at least one or two melodies. His melodies are simple, but they're melancholy and gorgeous. All of his records that have at least one, if not the whole record, is just achingly gorgeous. He employs different female singers, none of whom I really care for. It's like he's enamored of these young ladies. I mean, I can tell that's what it's about. You know, this is his muse, and he's going to record her. And none of them are any good to me. They're just average. I'd rather hear him sing, actually, and he can't really sing. Rebellion. This is an example. Young lady on here sings, and it's like I skipped those tracks. Short Stories for Pauline. He's also got some sort of medical condition where he's always been seemingly anemic and real skinny and on the verge of death. Factory single. Say what you mean what you say. This is one. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Sunlight to Blue. Blue to Blackness. I mean, just the look of him and that moody look and the look in his eye. That's what he sounds like. I relate to this music. Personally, I do. Without Mercy. This is gorgeous. One I picked up recently that was recently put out on vinyl. Red Shoes. I have a lot of these on CD as well. Wonderful stuff. Love in the Time of Recession. If you don't know Durutti Column, well worth checking out. This one is fantastic. Obey the Time. This one's exceptional. And this is exceptional because this is where he's experimenting with hip-hop beats and beats. And it works. Tomorrow. Oh, man. I can hear this in my mind right now. This 12-inch single. Beauty. I can't compare him to anyone. No one sounds like Durutti Column. No one. Another thing. Lips That Would Kiss. It's fucking gorgeous. This is some of my favorite music, along with Ryuichi Sakamoto and, yeah, Live at the Venue in London. So, and I don't have all his records. Even with all these, I still am missing some. Circuses and Bread. It took me forever to find a copy of this one on vinyl. Bought it when it came out on CD. This one I have 2 copies of, an original and a reissue. And I keep both. LC, this one. What's that song? The Missing Boy. Wow. And it's the perfect title for it, The Missing Boy. And it's just so slightly melancholy, but beautiful. LC. I have 2 copies of this album. It's worth it. Amigos in Portugal. I think this was recorded in Portugal or some kind of something to do with Portugal. Greetings 3. Once again, I highly recommend this man. Another Spring. This is another one. Just look at the graphics. That tells you something special going on here. Guitar and Other Machines. Like I said, every one of these albums, there's something fantastic about it. He's one of my favorite guitarists, yes. 2 Triangles. And as I show you these records, and it's like just, yeah, every one of these is fantastic. Vinnie Riley. There's a 3-inch CD that I don't have that's collectible where Morrissey, when he left the Smiths, Vinnie Riley was the person who is, Vinnie made a mistake. He didn't ask for publishing and missed out on a whole lot of money when he helped to write and record the first Morrissey solo album. There's a story about it. You can read about it or hear about it online. And he just wanted to be a part of it and made the mistake of not covering his ass and losing out on a lot of money. Last thing I have here is the Factory Quartet. This is a one side by each artist. Kevin Hewitt is on here. Durutti Column. Royal Family and the Poor, I think, is another one of the bands on this. And I have singles, 7-inch singles and my CDs. Durutti Column, fantastic. So I was real happy to find out about that. And raced down and got it right away. So, folks, don't be fooled by people who are full of venom and anger and say negative things. What they're doing is telling you about themselves. They're telling me they have a problem, don't know how to manage it, and here they come over here laying it at my feet. I didn't ask for it. I'd say there's a problem of self-acceptance going on there, and I would encourage those people to maybe take some time to take a hard look at themselves and their behaviors. You know, there's so much behavior going on in the political field. Both parties, the two-party system is broken. I am not a Democrat. I've said that many times, and it's like that's what's unfortunate. We're dealing with hard-headed, ignorant, hateful, stupid people who make assumptions. They don't know, and even once you tell them, let me go to Trump one more time before I stop. Like this whole deal with these indictments and all this proof about where Trump has really been very foolhardy in his position, and folks refuse to look at the facts. That's dangerous. And that's what we're up against. They just want to believe what they want to believe. And that man ain't done shit for nobody except himself. And these poor people who don't know how to value themselves have bought into his lies, his grift, and stupidly come over here and try to lay it at my feet like I'm going to listen to it or actually be offended by it. It's like I look at what these people say, and I'm just thinking, this is really sad. Something is really wrong here with these people. My heart goes out to them. We'll probably, we'll hear from them again. And I'll use the word stupid. It's not name calling. That's descriptive. The behavior is the people are so stupid and unobjective, or that they'll just go on and just blurt that shit out like dumb fucks. Like people at the old circuses and carnivals back in the old days when you'd have the flim flam man who come around and says, I got this and it'll cure this and cure that, and oh really? And he makes the money and leaves town, and people got bottles of nothing. That's what's happening with politics. Both parties. You heard it here. Don't tell me what I am. I'll tell you, okay? Yeah, these people don't bother me. When it first happened, it upset me. But now it's just stupid. It's like people just are really immature. Very, very childish. Work on self-acceptance, and that stuff will start to make sense to you, and you say, well, I don't even know why I was acting like that. I got better things to do. So, back to Adrian. Happy birthday, Adrian! She tells me that she's going to be having some kind of exhibit or show this fall out in California. Finally, she's always been like, I'm just do the work, and I'm here, I help Floyd to propagate his legacy, but she hasn't been one to look for the spotlight. And people have been bugging her for years. You should write a book. You should do this. We need to do an exhibit. We need to do a feature on you. And she's finally agreed to it. I'll be participating in it. I don't know that I'm going to go out to California. And she's saying that, maybe I ought to come out for this. I still don't quite know exactly. Is it going to be like at a convention? Is this going to be in a TV show? I don't know yet. But they're going to use my music for it and feature my work as well as hers, the whole family. It's going to end up being a whole family feature. I love my whole family, and I'm really proud of all of them. I'm really proud of Adrian, the birthday girl today. She went out to California, and she was homeless, living on the beach, literally, determined to make it, and she did. Both she and my older sister and my brother-in-law Floyd are inspirations to me. I love those people. Okay, so this is two videos. Need to put them together and leave a comment. I'm going to tell you once again, you folks that come over here with your negativeness, you aren't fooling anyone. Take a look at yourselves. Take a look at yourselves.